Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Morning, welcome back. So we're a week away from Christmas. So yeah, I know everybody's kind of getting excited, and man, I'm gonna tell you, the parking lot has gotten empty down there. Yeah, it's kind of scary. Yeah, it hasn't been a lot coming in, but that's kind of the norm this time of year. With Christmas coming. We've actually done more campers this year than we did the year previous, so I guess I can't complain too much. But yeah, it's the boys have several projects, but it is a little bit of a slim week. We do have our Christmas party coming up this week, so yeah, they're looking forward to me feeding them and hopefully give them some bonus money for Christmas. So yeah, which they've earned it. They've worked hard this year. So, but yeah, we'll be here this week, and then we'll be off. Next week with Christmas, and then we'll be back the 30th, and of course be off on Wednesday for New Year's Day. But yeah, well, they've got some projects on the plate. This is one of them. This big American Eagle got some slide out issues, so we're going to dive into that here this morning. Figure out what's going on there, but yeah, just it's kind of crazy to think we're just a couple weeks away from the end of the year. So yeah, you guys have been with me through a lot of videos here. We've done a lot of videos. I think we're getting close. We're right around the corner from our 150th video. So thanks for watching, guys. You've been with me for a while now. So it's always kind of a neat adventure when you work on RVs. So the boys are going to be rolling in here in just a few minutes. We're going to get going and get this week finished out so they can have a week off and spend time with their families during Christmas. So yeah, let's go in here and we'll get rolling. All right, next project here in the shop is this little east to west Alta, and it's got a Suburban furnace in here. Now the customer had stated, and we went in here and looked at it, but when they run the fan never shuts off. It always keeps running, no matter what the thermostat's mounted at. It never shuts off. Now, if you look at that serial number right there, first two digits is a 21. This is a COVID furnace. The reason I can tell you this is what's going on is because, see this board right here? This is the actual board that should have been in these. Suburban, during COVID, had problem getting a lot of these components that you see on this board. And so what they had to do is they had to build a board like on an old Atwood, where it had the board, a control board, but then had a relay assembly built for the fan. Now, this is not, they only did this for just a little bit because they were having problems getting the parts for those boards. So this furnace actually has two boards in it. So we're going to dive into here and see what's going on with these boards. We got to pull this out and bench test this. Next project here in the shop is this big Monaco Windsor. And this little jewel came in with Aqua Hot problems. And I think Mr. Thomas told me that it wasn't doing anything. No switch. They hit all the switches. Nothing works. Now this is obviously, what'd you say, 02, 03 model Aqua Hot. So it's got some age on it. But you can see where that's buried at. That's buried in there about center coach. Now, Thomas, as you can see, is buried up in here also, because this is about the only access point to this. So just trying to figure out where the problem is, but yeah, clear up mid-ship, so it makes it for fun for working on. All right, so he's got the diag done on this Aqua Hot on this big Monaco Windsor. And what he found out was that the diesel burner motor, whenever they replace the fuse, as soon as power comes on, the fuse snaps just that quick. So there's a burned up motor on the diesel side. And then when they got to looking at the 120 volt for the heating element, There's power way back there in the bedroom, and it leaves the breaker box. But when he gets down here to the Aqua Hot, there's no voltage. There's only like 2 volts. So there's a wiring problem somewhere in this coach. Now this customer's living in this full time, and we called him and he said, well, I never use the diesel and I've never really had any hot water. Well, you're not going to have hot water for very long on the electric. That's why it's got the diesel in there. So he doesn't want to spend all the time it's going to take to figure out the wiring. So he's actually coming to get it, and I don't know, to do it himself, I guess. But yeah, not knowing where that wire, we found it up underneath the refrigerator, but it goes through the toilet, floor, bathroom, right there into the cabinetry, and then the breaker box is literally about, yeah, right there, which means it goes up there and then up the wall. So, I mean, it'd take a little bit of time to figure it out, but he don't want to pay the time to figure it out. So we're going to send him on his way. So the Monaco Windsor that we just did the diag on that, customer, you know, we told him that there was a problem with the 120 and that there was going to be some time invested in trying to figure out, you know, where that wire was shorted out, and he didn't want to spend no more money on it. So he came and got it, and just called us a little bit ago and told us we were the most unprofessional folks out here doing RV repair, that he went home and cleaned out a couple of his bays in his camper and found the wires chewed up by a squirrel. You know, there was obviously a problem. We stopped. We gave the customer a call. We explained to him that this is going to take a few minutes. You're living in this thing. You've got it packed full of stuff. There's obviously an issue. It's going to take some time to figure this out. He went home. He cleaned out his bays. He found the problem, and then calls back and says, I'll never do business with you guys again because you're not honest. Okay, I could have kept on doing this job and been into it for 4 or 5 hours and then called him. And then I would have been a butt, because I would have been overcharging him, because that's too much money. But try to do the right thing. Give him a call and say, hey, listen, there's a problem. We're going to have to spend some more time. Do you want me to go on? He chose to come pick it up. He chose to tell us to stop. So we did. We did exactly what he told us to do. And then he calls today and gives me the 1-2 that, yeah, unprofessional. So, of course, the beauty about it is that's another customer that I'll send down to the big box store. I won't never have to deal with him again if that's the way he wants to do things. So, you know, the joys of owning a small business. There you go. Also, the boys are in here working on this little cargo trailer that has had a bad axle. Axle was broke on it. And so they've got the new axle installed, and he's just mid-stroke changing the hubs out on it. Next project is this brand new Chevrolet car that is getting a tow bar put on the front of it, and obviously you can see what's all involved with doing this. Of course, he's getting all the bracketry mounted, but yeah, a little bit involved. You got to take apart to get all this stuff put in here the right way, and not everything bolts right up. Some things have to be watered out a little bit, and so it's not the easiest job in the world. But as you can see, they're working on getting this all installed, and then Mr. Jeff is up there finishing up a roof job. But I've got another one on the other side that we're going to go look at right quick. So another project here in the shop is this ginormous American Eagle. Now this is a big coach. This is a nice coach. HWH is giving a little bit of a problem on the jacks, and this one, it has the air leveling along with the hydraulic. So there's a little bit going on in here with the slides and the leveling and everything else. But yeah, having a little bit of power issue there. And I'll show you something that's kind of neat. I hadn't seen this yet. This is kind of a new deal. Yeah, slide on a push button. That's pretty cool. Not seen that in any of the other coaches, but like I said, this is a almost new American Eagle. But look at these life batteries. Man, that's a bank of batteries right there. So, and then just going through and doing some power troubleshooting, trying to figure out what's going on with the jacks. But But yeah, this is a nice bus right here. Getting a little bit of loving, tender care done. So yeah, they got a few projects going on in here. But yeah, that a big American Eagle. That's a pretty rascal. It actually is in here. It's got a big Aqua Hot 600 in it, and they brought it in to get it winterized. And then they had a jack issue and a couple other things going on. But yeah, it's a nice bus. But yeah, you can see the boys they're moving along with their projects. All right, so this is Chevy tracks you saw them working on yesterday. As you can see, they've got the bumper and all put back on. They've got the tow bars installed. Now the customer is doing a little bit of his own wiring, so we just tucked those wires up there. He just wanted the hard part done, so we've got it all installed, and it's getting ready to ship out. All right, well, you can see we've been working diligently on this to figure out what's going on, and I just spent a bunch of time on the phone with HWH, and what they have determined is because this far pin right here does have 12-volt power on it, and we do have a light on the controller, but nothing's lighting up down here, they have determined that this brain box is bad. So I got to call the customer and have a conversation with him about that, and try to get one of those ordered. All right, next project here in the shop is this Mountain Air. Now this one had an old version 1 Penguin on here that has died, and so they're getting this changed out with a new style Penguin. Now that's just got a regular 3-button thermostat in it. The system is a 5-button thermostat, so we've got to change that board out, put it in here, and then get it up here and test it. Okay, so I got the new glow plugs in this unit, and you can see when I go to preheat, watch what happens now. Pulling about 30 amps. So we're going to glow plug this and see what happens. All righty, there you go. She's running. So I can tell you, I had to preheat that for almost 60 seconds. That is a cold-blooded generator. But yeah, burn now. All right, next project in here this morning is a river ranch. And this one here evidently has had, I think she told me it's had 4 basement airs in it. And so Mr. Lewis has got that one out. They taped the crap out of this one. Of course, all that foam board and all that. Let's go in here and look at the basement air. I'll show you something. All right, so here's the basement air that came out of it. Now, they said this one here is it's got a problem. So, as you can see, they wrapped it with all this, which, you know, really doesn't solve the problem of the ductwork and the pan underneath this. And it is a COVID air conditioner. So we're going to be tearing in this one here in a few minutes just to see what the heck's going on with it. Gosh, look at that. Trying to install that got a little crazy. But yeah, we're going to see what's going on with this here in just a few minutes. All right, so this voltage is up here in my campground right now. The boys needed a good level spot for it to sit, and evidently what the customer has been doing is he hasn't been leaving the water in his tank, and so all the poo-poo has now mounded up in the tank, and it's slap plugged up. So the boys actually have it sitting up here with several tablets of Commando in there. We're going to let it sit for a few days and see if the bacteria will open things up a little bit, but potentially it could be a tank replacement. Got to float the crap out, guys. All right, so we're going to go out here and see how Mr. Lewis is doing on the river ranch. Now, look at there. There's another river ranch sitting right there waiting on the basement air repair. But yeah, they're in here now working on this. Looks like they've got the unit back in. They've got the ductwork installed. So just working on doing the final fitting up and getting everything sealed up right. And then we'll test it. All right, so the coachman's all done. They got the roof on this. I got it out of here before I could really get up there. I've been busy dealing with some Christmas party stuff, but yeah, got the new roof on. And then that hole that was in the back, we got it repaired, and that's what the customer wanted, was that stripe on the back. So I think it turned out pretty nice. But there you go, ready to ship out. All right, so the river ranch basement area is done. Now the customer was having a little bit of an issue with some mold building in the bathroom area, and so Forest River wanted us to do a pressure test on the system to see if we had any leaking going on. So the boys are in the middle of doing that right now. Right. Well, that's going to finish us up here this week. Had our Christmas dinner just a little bit ago with the boys, and so yeah, they took off early. So we're going to be closed next week. Give the boys some time to be with their family. Myself and cousin Gary will probably be up here a couple days next week doing a little bit of work. But yeah, hey, thanks for all the comments for last week's video. Appreciate everybody watching. Merry Christmas. Hope everybody has a great time with their family. We'll be back the week of New Year's. But yeah, we're going to take next week off and do that. And so there you go. So you have fun with your family, and we're going to have fun with ours. So take care. Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching. If Cousin Gary was here, he would say Merry Christmas. And this video is Cousin Gary approved. Y'all take care.